Yeah, so I mean, to start off, just give us some background, kind of who you are, where you're from, those kind of things, and then what made you originally want to join the program.
All right, so I'm Ethan Dillingham. I'm a junior at Lincoln High School. Basically, in the summer, I started having arm problems, and then I ended up having surgery. And I think I realized coming back, I just needed a routine to stick to, someone to guide me, help me get back to where I was and even better. Because I love the game and I just wanted to compete at a higher level.
Nice. So yeah, you were having arm pain, obviously had surgery, and you knew that you weren't really gonna get back to the spot you wanted to if you were just winging it,
Yep.
regular routine.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say before I was just going off a feel, but now on the program I have something to do every week, just going into each week with a plan, and that's helped me so much.
For sure. What were some of your initial goals you had when you first started and we were getting you onboarded? What were kind of the things you were looking to get out of it?
So the biggest thing I was trying to eliminate arm pain and throw harder. Those were my two big things.
Okay. And would you say that those have been a success?
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had arm pain about the entire time I've been throwing since surgery, and then the velocity, my first pen back, I was already throwing harder after surgery than I was before. So,
That's pretty sick.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty. It fires me up, especially to see like guys in rehab kind of make those development gains, and even like during the rehab process already be a better player than previous.
yeah,
So it's really cool to see your journey and see you um, start balling out before you even were like technically officially cleared and good to go. Pretty cool. Um, so I guess where did you see the most gains? Was it velocity? Was it obviously the health improved? Weight room gains, body weight, anything like that?
yeah. I'd say my body weight went up 15 pounds. I mean, that was a big one for me. I always struggled to gain weight, but then we talked about how to like get on a plan, get enough food in each day, and that's helped me so much because that was always the big factor. I could gain strength in the weight room, but just size didn't really come with it, and now I put on 15 pounds, and that's helped me a lot and to stay healthy too and throw harder.
Nice. Cool. Um, where were you at before you started weight wise and where are you at now?
I started at about 150 to 155 pounds, and now I'm anywhere from 165 to 170.
Nice. And then what's the velocity at these days?
So now I'm sitting in the low 80s, topped out at 83 compared to before I was throwing like 77 to 78.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool to see during a rehab process. So, um, yeah, how have how have those gains in the weight room, body weight, velocity, obviously the arm health, like how has that affected you in the season, like confidence wise and mentality wise?
Yeah. My mental game got so much better just because of it. I was such a more confident player. I wasn't always lingering around wondering what was wrong with my arm. I was just ready to go out and do my thing.
Yeah, 100%. There's a big difference between like feeling ready to play and being free and being able to do it versus obviously having to think about your arm and is this going to hurt today? How much is it going to hurt? Like I've been there before. I know that it's not ideal. So that's good. How about as far as like the actual performance side, do you feel like it's easier to trust yourself and be confident in your ability with the added strength gains and velo gains and all that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. On the mound, even in just my one appearance that I got my first time back, I felt so much more confident. I just trusted my stuff a lot more. I wasn't worried, oh, if I miss over the plate a little bit, I'll still be okay. It's not just going to get hammered. So that was a big one for me.
Oh yeah. What do you think about what do you think the piece of the program was the biggest part in like helping you make those gains? Like what do you think was the biggest thing affecting like your personal development?
Probably the weight room. The weight room, because I gained a lot of weight and it helped me stay healthy. And just with that, the correlation, I got more explosive and I would throw harder.
Mhm. 100%. Do you think what about
Just going in there like each day knowing what I'm gonna do.
okay, yeah, so kind of having a plan, having goals, and being able to know exactly what to do and not have to wander in the gym and kind of just like think it through and be like, hey, maybe I'll hit chest today.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest thing.
Nice. I love it. Um, so obviously we talked on the health piece and you went through a surgery, um, ulnar nerve, correct?
Yep.
Ulnar nerve surgery and um, obviously was having pain beforehand. Afterwards, anytime you get a surgery, arm's not going to feel great afterwards. Kind of got you through the rehab process. Um, Take me through kind of how that, like, how the return to throw program worked for you and how that helped you feel prepared by the time you were ready to go and like let it rip 100%. The confidence piece to know that like you felt good physically and your body wasn't gonna be in pain.
All right, yeah. So basically we start off really low, really light, and then I'd probably stick around there for 2 to 3 weeks, and then when I felt ready, we would just increase the velocity. And there was sometimes a mental challenge, even if it was only a 5 mile per hour increase. But after talking with Ryan, worked through it, pushed through it, and then stayed on that track for a while. And then by the end, when I was ready to throw 100%, I was so ready. I was so amped up to just finally be able to get out there and let it rip because my arm felt so good just building up. I felt that was the most prepared I've been for any season or any mound work I've done in my entire life after the whole throwing program on the return.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of your return to throw program. You like executed it really well, and so that's why it was pretty cool for me because I kind of expected that you were going to throw harder after you came back than beforehand, um, and so we were able to just like gradually increase the velocity to the point where you were getting to those velo numbers that you were at prior, like without us even letting it rip yet.
Yep,
I knew like taking it probably slower than you wanted to. I'm sure there were times where you were like, "Oh, I want to let it rip. I feel good," but you were able to trust the process and go step by step. And so by the time you were ready to go, like the difference in how you look throwing the ball now versus when you first were starting with me is like astronomical. Um, and obviously, like just getting the pain out of the way too is the biggest first step. So. Um, Proud of you for the way that you went through the return to throw program because especially like in an online program doing a return to throw, like obviously I'm not right there with you. So being able to trust that you were doing it properly and doing the right things with the right intent level is huge because and obviously you saw the results of doing it right. So pretty cool for you. Um,
absolutely. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Um, So I guess my next question would be your long-term goal, obviously, is to try and go play college ball. Um, do you feel more prepared for the future and getting a chance to go play college ball now than you did prior to starting the program?
Absolutely. Now, I know in college your work level is going to be much higher, and with the arm pain I had before, there was no way I'd be able to handle that. And now I'm throwing harder. I have better stuff. I'm able to post myself to get out there and get recruited without being scared. And I know when I get to college, I'll be able to handle that stress level just because I've been working so hard for the last few years on the program.
100%. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of one of the things that I like to do with the high school guys like you is get you on a program that's going to be similar or potentially even more actual like strain and effort on your body than when you get to college. So by the time you get there, it's not going to be a shock to the system and you get beat up and you're tired all the time. Like my goal is to get you in the door, ready to rock and go. So um, pretty cool that again, like you followed the program and you've done the things that you need to do and you've done it with the intent level you needed to do. And so um, now you're going to be ready by the time you get there. And so now it's about just continuing to make those gains and like you're saying, be at a level where you're confident enough to post your highlights and be like, "Hey, this is what I can do. Somebody come grab me." Well, okay, so before you started, obviously we had never met. We had just talked online and all that. And I knew a little bit about your story from us talking about your um, injury history and kind of where you were at the time. What were some of your hesitations or concerns prior to starting? And then I guess elaborate on how maybe those cleared up once you started going.
The one thing I was worried about is that it would just be a generalized program, not built specifically for me based off of my needs. But we jumped on a call and it's specialized for me to help me do what I need to do. It's not just one program fits all kind of thing. And I think that was the biggest like sell for me to, okay, this works. I should go get it.
Oh yeah. So you kind of when you were first obviously reaching out and all that, was you kind of figured it was going to be something. I know there's a lot of other pitching programs online that, but you thought it was going to kind of be that cookie cutter sort of thing. Um, and then I guess what was the first thing that kind of like stuck out to you of like, hey, this actually is individualized for what I need, and it's going to be able to help me.
Just seeing how the program built up and talking with you and how you had a plan for me to return the throw, it wasn't just something generalized. It was able to be fixated. Like if I started to feel different, you would be able to change my program based off pain or tiredness, whatever it was. You were able to change it for me.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing, biggest piece that I am passionate about is what's going to help you is not what's going to help the next guy or the next guy in my program. Even on the return to throw, like your return to throw is going to be different from a guy that had Tommy John or had a shoulder injury. Like you're going to have different pain symptoms. You're going to have a different timetable. And so obviously I knew your goals of getting the college ball, putting on velo, putting on the weight. And I said, let's make a plan to do that. And then it was on you to actually execute it, and that's why you had such good success with it is because you were like, I'm going to execute this to the best of my ability, get after it, and let the results be what they are. So pretty cool. Again, like I keep reiterating, but it's pretty cool for me to see a guy that goes through rehab, comes out, and is throwing significantly harder, moving better, um, and getting to play again pain free. So cool.
Yep. Thank you.
As far as the communication piece, kind of how it works, being able to message me and get feedback and all that, and I guess just like the Slack community piece, um, as a whole, being able to go through modules and pick up nuggets, the group calls, things like that. How has that been for you? And I guess like, what are some of the big things you've learned just through that piece of everything?
All right, so starting with the communication. I can text him whenever I want through this Slack app, and I get a response normally within 2 hours. It can be very quick sometimes, and every Wednesday we're able to get on a call as a group with other guys and break down certain things, and that's helped me learn a lot. And he posts in the group videos about certain things like sleep, how to recover, and that's the biggest thing I picked up was recovery, and you need to treat your sleep and diet just as important as you do your training, and that's been the a big one for me too. If he didn't post those videos, I would probably still be in pain, not recovering properly. So that's a big thing. And other people when they gain velo or have a big lift, they're able to post it in the group chat, and you have a whole bunch of other pitchers with the same goal that are able to shout you out and just congratulate you, and that feels nice.
Yeah, for sure. Has it helped with like the motivation piece, kind of seeing some of the other guys in in the chat, like putting up big numbers or hitting PRs? Like, has that kind of maybe on a day where you're like, oh, I don't really want to get out of bed and do this, or has that kind of motivated you to be like, well, I got 10 other guys here right now that are getting after it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because if you're not gonna work, you know someone else is, and then just seeing their results is like, if I keep working hard, I can get to that spot too. So it is definitely a big motivator.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of those guys have kind of been motivated by your journey as well, like seeing you putting up gains and improving. And obviously, like I said, because you've been able to stick to the program and be diligent about what you're doing, like a lot of guys that are just starting out that are realizing it's a grind, they're going to be able to look at it and be like, oh shit. So if I just like actually follow this plan and I pay attention to detail and I do the recovery and the sleep and the nutrition like Ethan did, I can gain 4 or 5 miles an hour too. So um, pretty cool. I guess my next question would be, what would you say? Let's say you were on a call with somebody that's like on the fence that I've talked to them. I've said, hey, this is kind of what the program's all about, but they're not completely sure if they want to do it or not. What would you say to them to kind of like let them know like this is something that's going to help them?
I mean, I'd say my story speaks for myself. I mean, I've had pain my whole life, not my whole life, but the last 2 years, and I finally had surgery, and I didn't think I'd ever be able to get back to where I was. And now I've followed his exact program. I didn't just do some magical stuff. I followed what he told me, and I'm back, and I'm better than I ever was before. So I'd say it's 100% worth the investment if you want to play at the next level.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think like the story and the results speak for themselves. And like I said, you put in the work, and that's the kind of guys I like to go for is guys that I know are going to work hard, that want to get better, that want to play at that next level, that really what they just need is a plan and good guidance. Um, and I was able to give that to you, and you're able to just get after it, put in the work, ask questions, go through the time of watching those videos in the Slack community and learn. And you came out better for it. So it's pretty cool. How has the program just like overall changed your outlook on like training, what it takes to be a big leaguer, things like that? Like how has it changed your own like perception of what your future in baseball could look like?
Was seeing it and being on the program and him telling us that it's a college or pro level. I'm sorry, 1 second, I'm blanking.
You're good. It's a tough question. I mean, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
all right. So
okay,
him telling us it's like a college or pro level program, and it makes me realize, and I love putting in the hard work. It makes me think this is something I could definitely see myself doing for the rest of my life, and it's a good program. It definitely fits in my everyday life, and it's something I can do.
for sure. Has there ever been any times through it where you've been like it's felt like it's been too much?
There have been times where it was challenging, especially in the beginning. It felt like a lot with the throwing and lifting, but after you did it for a month or so, your body got used to it, and then you started to feel great.
Nice. It's awesome. How's it been as far as workload wise, like in season, kind of the same now that you're kind of used to it?
Oh, yep. That was the biggest thing before. Lifting after practices would feel impossible. I would lose so much strength and weight throughout the season. And this year, I was able to gain strength and weight throughout the season because I was on the program and my body was ready to just work after already doing stuff, not just, oh, go to the gym when I'm feeling fresh. My body was prepared to put in work and then go to the gym and still get something out of it.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see. Like I've said, just your transformation. And like I even said you sent me a video a few days ago, and I was like the difference in just like the explosiveness and the athleticism of how you move, in a relatively short amount of time training with me, like is pretty cool to see, especially because you were coming off injury, and so it wasn't like right off the bat we were getting after it with like super high intensity throwing and lifting. Like we said, there was kind of that whole build up and everything. So to see that those big gains has been awesome to see, and I'm excited for the future too because now we're really in the part where we can start to get after it, especially once your season starts to wind down and you have more training economy to just like get after it completely in the weight room and on the
Yep.
throwing. I definitely see a world where you can get to even like upper 80s by next year. So I'm excited for it for sure.
Can't wait.
Absolutely. You got anything else you want to say to the people?
Invest.
Appreciate it, man. Um,
Yep.
I appreciate you too. Like you were one of my first clients I signed up, and you've been awesome to work with because like I said, you've followed everything to a T and gotten after it, and the results speak for themselves. So, um, pretty cool.
Thank you. Wouldn't be here without you. So.
Absolutely, brother.